Okay, so firstly, I'm super excited because I finally got a setup. I don't like filming in my room for some reason. The lighting just isn't great, even with my ring light. And I need to film in the day, but I can't film in the day because I'm working. So I keep coming up with these excuses not to film. And that is why I haven't posted a video in 3 weeks. And it's actually been eating me up inside. I really love to make videos and I really want to make videos and I really love to share my thoughts. But I'm still struggling with a lot of my own insecurities. If I'm being honest, I can make excuses. I can say I've been busy with work, which I have been. I can say I've been tired, which I have been. I haven't been sleeping, right? We're gonna get into this. It's because I'm not meditating. So as you can see, I'm just spiraling a little bit. And so today I'm here and I'm filming and we have a lot to catch up on, but today's focus is going to be going inside, and that is basically what I needed to do because that is what we need to do always. And I've recently learned this lesson, and especially within myself, struggling with filming, that is another thing that I need to deal with by going inside. So what do I mean by going inside? Because when I first heard that, you need to go inside, you need to look inside, happiness is within. What do I mean by go inside? What do I mean by look within? This is something that I had to learn over time, but I did get inspiration today because I was trying to gather my thoughts because I haven't filmed in a very long time. And so I knew that I wanted to speak about going within, but I was looking for just a little bit of inspiration. And so I pulled these two cards. Let me just show you. So the first one is mirror. So what is triggering you? So we're going to speak a little bit about that. And then also warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? So this inspired me to actually speak about what was triggering me this week. And when something starts to go wrong in our reality, we are basically primed and conditioned to look without us, to look at the external environment. We tend to shift the focus and we put it outside of ourselves. So we're not really used to looking within to find the answer in terms of what we're busy struggling with. So for example, I was struggling to film. Why was I struggling to film? Because I'm struggling to express myself and I'm struggling to just be who I am and not care what people think or not care if they judge me. That is what I'm struggling with at the moment. And so as a result of that, I was not filming, and as a result of not filming, I started to feel icky inside. And as a result of feeling icky inside, I get stressed because I'm not happy, because I'm not doing what I enjoy doing, because I'm insecure. So you get where I'm going with this. So I was struggling with these feelings and I was just not filming. And then I was blaming the external environment. I was saying, no, it's because I'm too tired after work. And so I blame that. And I say, that's why I'm so tired after work. And I work so hard and so I'm so tired and I can't film. Or I say to myself, I don't know what I'll talk about. I don't know what I'll speak about in a video. So I start to make up all these excuses and I start to look outside of myself for reasons why I'm not doing it. And I say, no, it's because of work, or it's because I'm tired, or it's because I don't have time, or it's because, do you get what I'm saying? So I don't take responsibility for this whole situation. And if we look at the reason actually for why I'm not filming, it's because I'm insecure. It's because I sit and think to myself, who even cares what I have to say? Who is interested in watching my videos? But then the other side of me is like really wanting to express my thoughts and my feelings just openly. I just feel like expressing myself. I feel like sharing my thoughts. I feel like sharing important revelations that I've had and lessons that I've had, because I truly believe that can help someone else. Like if I start opening up on my channel in terms of what I've been through, if I just rip the band-aid off, and I have been doing that slowly, but like there's a lot that I want to discuss that I haven't yet discussed, and so something's holding me back, and it's because I'm insecure. So it's like, okay, cool, so now I need to work on the insecurity, but I've already been working on a lot of other insecurities and I've resolved a lot of my insecurities, but this one is still hanging around. It's like residual energy. And so when I'm not doing what I want to do, I get an icky feeling and I get very, very stressed out. Like subconsciously, it starts to eat away at me. And so that started to affect my meditation. And so I started to get these like psychic attacks. I felt like my mind was attacking me in my meditation, like all these thoughts, all of these intrusive thoughts, like anxiety, panic. It was just a lot of negative emotions that were coming up for me in my meditation. And so it got very overwhelming for me. And so I gradually just cut down on my meditation. I said, you know, maybe just 30 minutes today. Let me not do my normal 2 hours. Let me just do my 30 minutes in the morning, because I get so overwhelmed. But gradually, this is what the mind does. The mind is pulling me away, further away from the thing that's actually going to help me. And because I'm in a state of fear, I tend to fall into the trap. And this is what happens because it's a low vibrational state. And if I feed into it and I don't pull myself back out, back to my center, I will spiral. And that is what happens. So because my meditations got cut down, I started to struggle with my sleep again. So I've always struggled with my sleep for like as long as I can remember. I would wake up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and I can't go back to sleep. And then what this would cause is a lot of upsets, a lot of sadness, a lot of crying, a lot of meltdowns, because I don't feel good when I don't sleep. And I become like a baby. Like I throw tantrums basically. Like I'll have a breakdown if I'm not sleeping well, like over a period of time. And so, you know, like after a week of not sleeping well, I will have a meltdown. I'll lose my mind if I'm not sleeping well. And that is something that I needed to integrate. And so this brings me to this card, Mirror. What is triggering me? That is what I needed to uncover. And so when I was not sleeping, I started to have those negative emotions come up again. And I really thought I healed this part of myself, but I started to see that it was because I wasn't meditating. So I had to go back to my meditation. I had to really push through it. All of the negative emotions that were coming up, I could feel them coming up, but I needed to just be there with it. I needed to just feel it. I needed it to just be what it is and stop distracting myself from feeling what I'm feeling and observe it more than getting pulled into it and living it and, you know, like getting lost in it. I had to just come back and just breathe and just observe. What is this showing me? Because this card is a mirror, right? And so what this symbolizes is that the people or the events in your life that trigger you, that cause you to feel ungrounded, that cause you to feel like you're lost, that cause you to feel anxious, scared, confused, all of those things are things you need to observe. They are things you need to investigate, because it's a mirror. It's showing you what you need to heal within yourself in order to resolve this whole thing. But we don't pay attention. We get lost in the meltdown. We like lose track of the message. We don't even get the message. If you don't have discernment and see it happening, then you will fall into the trap and you will just spiral until you crash. And then you wake up and you realize that you just got stuck in the spiral. You just got stuck in the loop and you need to pull yourself out sooner, right? And so I was observing myself the whole time. And so this time I didn't have a meltdown, which is really, really great. I haven't had a recent meltdown, which is great because I usually have a meltdown and then the realization, but now I'm able to skip that because I'm able to catch it sooner. And so I'm starting to see the journey of like healing my traumas. I'm starting to see that pay off, because now I don't have to have the meltdowns to have the realization anymore. I can just analyze what's happening, observe what's happening, and then I can resolve that issue. So in this case, I wasn't sleeping now for the past like 2 weeks. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. So I'm getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And it is so frustrating for me. And I'm allowing myself to just feel it anyways. And I'm allowing myself to feel the tiredness. Like right now I'm tired. I've been up since 4. For like the past week, I've been getting up at this time. I've been getting very little sleep. And usually by now I've had a meltdown. But like I said, we've managed to dodge that bullet. So I'm quite excited because now I get to share this message that you have to constantly go within. And so when I saw myself struggling to sleep, I had to see, okay, if this continues, I'm going to get very upset. I'm going to lose my patience. I'm going to cry. So how do we avoid that? Why am I not sleeping? I'm not sleeping because I'm not meditating. So when I started meditating, it cured my sleeping problem. Like, I don't know how. I think it's because I process a lot in my meditation, and so it doesn't bug me then. The anxiety doesn't come for me while I'm sleeping anymore. because I take the time to meditate. I take the time to like clear my mind. And so because I wasn't meditating, I wasn't sleeping. And so again, I had to retrace my steps. So I was like, okay, I'm not sleeping. Why am I not sleeping? Because I'm not meditating. Why am I not meditating? Because it's very uncomfortable, because there's a lot coming up. What is it that's coming up? You're not filming. Why you're not filming? Because you're insecure. Why you're insecure? What? About what? Caring what people think. Why? Can I control what people think? No. No. Neither can you. So that's the lesson, right? Stop caring what people think. Why? Like, just be you, right? And so that brings me to my next point, which is the warrior woman, right? So are you answering your soul's deepest calling? If I'm called to create videos and share what I want to share, that I truly believe is like a sign from the universe. It's a message from my higher self. I have to follow it, and I can feel it in my heart. You know, when you just instinctually in your heart know that you want to do something, or that you enjoy doing something. And so the more I deny it, the more I don't listen to the intuitive messages that are coming through, the more I'm going to suffer. And so this is a prime example, because it all started to spiral when I stopped doing what I wanted to do, because I was insecure and I was falling into that trap and I was spiraling into that loop. And I probably could have stopped it sooner, but honestly I think I just needed that reminder. And the reminder is to go within. And so both of these messages speak to that, because going within really means that anything that you're struggling with in your life, you can find the answer within, by looking within. So just like with the filming, I would say to people around me, I don't know what to do, or I don't know what to film, or I'd complain about the fact that I'm not filming, but it's me that's not filming. Again, it's something that I've just, you know, brought into my awareness. And so instead of looking externally, instead of asking people for advice, I mean, I feel like it is good to ask for advice sometimes, but the answer is always going to be within. The final decision is always going to be your decision to make. And if you make decisions based on what other people tell you to do, you're not going to be happy with it unless it was really your choice, unless that is something that you really wanted for yourself. Like, you need to just honor yourself. Do you know what I mean? And so part of that is you need to make your own decisions, and you need to trust yourself and your own instinct when you're making decisions. Because I really do feel like we all have this kind of like intuitive guidance that tells us what to do, and that helps us, you know, get through difficult times. But we don't really take advantage of it. We don't really use our intuition. We're so focused on looking externally. Another thing we do is we people please. And again, that is looking without for something that you should be looking within for, which is your approval, validation, acceptance. A lot of the times, if you're a people pleaser and if you do things only for the other person and not because it's truly in alignment with what you want, then you will find yourself in a constant trap, because you are denying what it is that you want for the sake of finding acceptance and approval and validation from the other person. So maybe you want to be liked, or maybe you want to be accepted. If that is the only reason, it's because you can't accept and approve of yourself. There's something that you're not accepting within yourself. And so that brings me back to my insecurity. If I struggle to, you know, deal with the fact that I don't know if people are going to accept me, it's probably because I haven't fully accepted myself, right? And so then again, I have to look within to discover that. I have to look within to see why I'm insecure. Because it doesn't make sense to look externally for validation and to look externally for approval. You can't control other people and how they see you, because everyone has their own unique perspective on life. Everyone has their own circumstances that shaped their perception of you. And so everyone will receive you differently, and you're not for everyone. And that's why it's so important to be led from within. You need to be who you are. You can't allow yourself to constantly get bent out of shape just to please other people, because then you're going to lose your own self. You're going to become so unrecognizable to yourself, and you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like you don't know who you are and you don't know where you're going in life. Our triggers teach us, you know, what we are not dealing with. You just have to observe what it is that's happening. So in the first case, right, what is triggering you? For me, what was triggering me in terms of me about to have a reaction or a meltdown or start crying, what was triggering me was the fact that I wasn't sleeping. Okay, because that's a very big wound for me. I've been struggling with that for years. And it's been one of my biggest triggers. When I'm not sleeping, I get very triggered. And in the past, it would affect me a lot mentally. It would affect everything. Like, I could not function because, like, the anxiety, the stress, the physical exhaustion, it would just take me down and I couldn't cope with it. You know, what this also showed me when I was looking within is that there is something there that is not in alignment, and that is that I'm not making the videos that I want to make because of the insecurity. And so if I ignore that calling to make videos or to share ideas, I will only suffer more and more, right? If I'm not dealing with the insecurity, I'm gonna suffer. And I really do believe that our triggers are there to show us something within ourselves that needs resolving. And so you need to take every trigger as an opportunity to do some healing on yourself, to do some integration work, to realize what it is that's triggered you, what it is that's happening inside. So for me, I had to get over my insecurity in order to actually film this video, right? And so I think this is such a profound lesson, because when I'm functioning at that optimal state, that is when I get the creative inspiration to do what I want to do, which is to film. So it's very, very fascinating for me that it's all tied together and it's all linked. So me denying the call to make videos due to the insecurity, that led to more suffering in the bigger scheme of things. I find that anything that I'm struggling with, if I just take the time to be still in meditation, then the answer comes to me. So anything that I'm struggling to come to terms with, if I'm overthinking something, or if I'm worried about something, or if I'm stressed about something, all I have to do is meditate and I instantly get like the answers that I'm looking for. And so that's been a very big blessing for me, and it's helped me in so many ways. And I have to continue to work on those things because they will continue to come up. It's like if you don't stay aware of yourself and your patterns, the residual energy is like lying there because it's like an old habit. It takes a while to get rid of it. And so that pattern of thinking, it took a while for me to kick it. I'm still working on it. And so it's an ongoing process. What I urge you to do is just observe what's happening. If you're upset about something, just pay attention to it, observe it, analyze it a little bit. And just be aware of it and where it's coming from. Do some self-inquiry, which is again to go inside and ask yourself those questions. What is it that's coming up? What are you really feeling? Is there a feeling of fear or of shame or of guilt? What is it that you're feeling and why? And is that someone else's opinion or is that yours? Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to constantly analyze where it is that it's coming from. That is what I had to do, and I found the answers. And once you found the answer, you can remove the blockage. Go within, ask yourself, what is this bringing up in me? Where's this coming from? Am I projecting? You know, we often do, because it's the unconscious patterns that come up and take over. And so we get reactive, we get judgmental, we get defensive, and we tend to dig ourselves into a bigger hole. So yeah, just pay attention, go inside. Thank you so much for being here with me, and let me know, what practices do you have to go inside? I meditate, I journal, I love to just take reflective walks where I just think about how I've been feeling over the day, if anything's bugging me. So let me know if you've got any practices, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video.